Welcome to NIOS. The title of the video is Environmental Degradation. Learners, as you know, in the previous lesson we learnt about concept of environmental degradation. Today we will know about the causes of environmental degradation. Social factors. Let us first discuss the four main social causes of environmental degradation. First is growing population. Population is a major cause of environmental degradation. Learners, can you tell me why? Because due to growing population, the natural source like water, air, tree, etc. are used very fast. If we keep using the natural resource, they will be finished and the coming generation will not be able to use them. Dear learners, you will be surprised to know that 17% of world population lives in India. However, India has only 2.4 of land area. Second is poverty. Poverty is also a cause of environmental degradation. This is because poor people use more natural resource as compared to rich people. Let us understand how. The poor people use natural resource like tree for building their huts. For cooking in the form of fuel, etc. In this way, they will finish the natural resource faster because they are poor, therefore can't buy those resources that are costly. We know that more use of resource will leads to degradation of environment. Third is urbanization. Dear learners, urbanization also leads to decrease in the quality of environmental. For example, environmental degradation. Urbanization is a process in which more and more peoples move from village to cities in search of work. Can you tell how urbanization leads to environmental degradation? Environmental degradation leads to unplanned growth of cities. As the population increase, however, the resource like homes, water, electricity, decrease. Fourth is changing lifestyle. We should also remember that the lifestyle and the way of living of people has changed during the past few years. The changing lifestyle of people has increased human activity that are causes serious damage of environmental. Let us try to understand this through an example. Earlier, there were not many fridge or air condition in home of Indian peoples. However, today these gadgets have become common. In fact, in many homes, we can find more one fridge and AC. However, harmful gases are produced by these machines. This leads to environmental degradation. Economic factors. Let us now try to learn about the economic factors responsible for environmental degradation. First factor is agriculture development. Learners, agriculture development is very important for every country. However, sometimes it badly affects environment resource. Use of fertilizer and pesticides lead to increase in agriculture and production. However, they spoil the land and water and leads to environment and land degradation. Second factor is industrialization. Growth of factories and industries is called industrialization. It leads to environmental degradation. The waste material coming out of these factories goes directly into ponds and rivers. Those polluting the water resource. While the gas coming out from these industries are also harmful. Learners, now we can discuss the result of environmental degradation. We have learned that due to harmful gases, fertilizers, pesticides, etc., pollution of air, water, and soil take place. Now we can talk about sustainable development. Learners, we have learned that economic development has led to environmental degradation. As in order to make progress, human being overuse the natural resource. In this way, these resources like tree and water will not remain available for our next generation. However, today the concept of sustainable development is becoming very popular. Sustainable development is that development that fulfill the need of the present generation without finishing the resource. So that can be used by the future generation. Therefore, it is necessary that we do not overuse the natural resource like water, soil, etc. so that they remain available for the use of our coming generation also. Learners, now we will learn about the concept of disaster management. However, the first we will know the meaning of disaster. A disaster is the tragedy that badly affects the society and environment. Disaster can be divided into two categories. First, natural disasters, and second is human disasters. First, one is natural disaster. It means a natural disaster takes place due to natural hazards, example, earthquake or flood, etc. And the second is human disaster. It means these disasters are caused by mistake or negligence of human being. For example, global warming. Learners, we have learnt about the meaning of global warming in previous lesson. Disaster management is the management of resource in order to deal with emergency situation created by many kind of disaster. At this correct that the result of disaster are very bad. However, we can decrease their effect by proper management. The disaster management process has 4 stages. First stage is mitigation. Second stage is preparedness. Third stage is response. And the fourth stage is recovery. Let's understand the first stage, mitigation. All the efforts that can be made to stop disaster from taking place. Are to reduce their efforts are called as mitigation. Now let's understand second stage of preparedness. In this stage, plans are made for the time when the disaster take place. For example, development of emergency shelters and training people. For example, volunteers who will help during any disaster. Let's understand third stage, which is response. This stage includes all those actions that are taken when a disaster takes place. For example, police and ambulance. Let's understand fourth stage, which is recovery. The aim of the recovery pass is to restore the affected area to its previous condition. It means to rebuild destroyed property, for example, to rebuild the homes and the other buildings. Learners, let us now revise what we have learned in this lesson. We learned about the various causes of environmental degradation, we discussed social causes like growing population, poverty, urbanization, etc. We have came to know about economic causes like industrialization. We learned about sustainable development and disaster management. With this, we have reached the end of the today's lesson. I hope you liked watching this video. If you have any queries, you may send your queries to signlanguage@nios.ac.in. For more information, you may visit our website at www.nios.ac.in. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Namaskar.